What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today we have some really interesting Destiny 2 stuff to talk about. So GameStop have revealed a ton of new Destiny 2 merchandise, which gives us some info about the subclasses for the Hunter, Titan, and Warlock in the game, and also we're going to be talking about if it correlates to a leak we had a while back, and some other things as well. So firstly, let's take a look at this new Destiny 2 GameStop merch, which gives us kind of like a really cool, interesting look at the themes for Destiny 2, and especially the subclasses. And it's also worth noting that GameStop have since taken these posts down, so you can no longer find these items on their website. So it seems they accidentally leaked this a little bit too early than they were supposed to, and this is basically not supposed to be public yet. So we can see 4 hats. Obviously, the first one is very basic, which got Hunter, Titan, and Warlock logos on there. But of course, this is official Destiny 2 merch. Isn't fan-made or anything fake. This is legit official Destiny 2 merchandise. But the other 3 hats are, of course, where it gets more interesting. We've got a Hunter logo with the snake in red. Also, the Warlock logo in green with a kind of eagle or giant bird, whatever that thing is, like a huge eagle or something. And also, the Titan has this gold and black lion, which is actually the exact same crest you'll actually notice on the chest piece of the Titan in the Destiny 2 artwork. If you look at this piece, you'll see that is the exact same lion. There's 2 of them on there, so this definitely correlates. As you can tell, it's official stuff, and this is basically like the themes for their subclasses. For some reason, the lion is representative for the Titan, the eagle or giant bird for the Warlock, and a snake or serpent for the Hunter. There's also keychains and little pendants and lanyards that you can see represent the exact same thing, so the Hunter, Titan, Warlock logos, and also there's animals we saw before, also some wallets and even some t-shirts as well. So it's basically a ton of Destiny 2 merchandise. So where this gets interesting is that the Reddit post, which I'll link in the description, and the user who first found this stuff actually also made some links towards some leaks we got a while back, which are definitely very out there, and to be honest, not very believable. But somehow this leak that came out all the way back in February does actually match up perfectly with these animals we're seeing on this Destiny 2 merchandise. So talking about this leak, like I said, it came out in February, and for the most part, it was very nonsensical. It's just a load of different posts of someone claiming to be a Bungie employee, and a lot of it is just so far-fetched and seems so made up and just not structured well. They did say some things that happened to be spot on. I'm not sure how it happened, whether you can go back and edit the post, but this stuff was said in February. But like I said, most people probably just ignored it. I don't think it got too much traction because it seemed so just random and out there. So for example, the first thing he says is the Cabal Emperor in a moon-sized war world shows up with his elite Red Guard and they level the tower, which is exactly spot on. I mean, they're not called the Red Guard, they're called the Red Legion. I think Red Guard was the early name for them, but have since been changed by Bungie. Of course, we saw the Mega Bloks leaks back on Amazon a while back calling them the Red Guard, which turned out to be accurate. But he said this stuff which is definitely on point with the Cabal attacking the tower and basically toppling it. And then he says something which completely you can throw out, because he says Shaxx is basically going to die and gets killed in the tower, which we know is not true because we've seen Shaxx in the actual Destiny 2 trailer. He's right there in the background behind Zavala, so we know for a fact Shaxx is alive and he doesn't die. So we're not really too sure what's going on with there. And he also says Shaxx dies in addition to either Zavala or Cayde or Ikora. And of course, we know all 4 of those characters are completely alive in the trailer. So that's something you can throw out there. And there's also a bunch of other stuff, like I said, that's completely random and doesn't really make too much sense. Like you can go third person until you go into your iron sights. You can play as the Fallen. They're actually playable characters. And also there's a PvP zone, which is like the Division Dark Zone. But then he says Titans get a Lynx type creature as a pet. Hunters get a large slinking reptile, and Warlocks get an alien raven type flying creature, which you have to admit that is exactly identical to the merchandise we've seen. Those that are completely matching. I mean, a Lynx is like a very big cat, not quite a lion, but definitely very similar, big cats anyway. Hunter's getting a large slinky reptile, like a giant snake, obviously, and Warlock's getting a giant alien raven type flying creature. So for some reason, I'm not sure how, but all 3 of those animals happen to be spot on. Again, not saying this leak is to be believed, but it's definitely very interesting, and that's why you see a lot of comparisons being drawn between the new merchandise that was revealed and also this leak that happened a while ago. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I'm personally torn. Again, I don't think this leak is to be believed. I think most of it is made up, but it's definitely very strange and interesting how he seemed to nail all 3 of those creatures spot on, and also the Cabal invasion. So of course, let me know your thoughts down below. Then again, there's also more things that aren't to be believed. Like he says, the first expansion is the Sister of Oryx and the Awoken Queen being revived by an Ahamkara worm. And of course, we know the first 2 expansions are to do with Osiris and also Rasputin. So we know that's not true either. But like I said, half of it seems to be made up and just completely like speculation, and half of it seems to be spot on. It matches exactly the things we've seen. And of course, I'll link the original post down in the description as well for you guys. So forgetting about that post, if we actually go back to something a bit more realistic, you can definitely draw a lot of similarities between those Ant Farm initial concept art leaks and also this new merchandise, of course, showing off these new animals. But mainly with the hunter and his spear, you can definitely see how similar it is to the idea of a snake. Maybe that spear is even kind of like a snake spear. Maybe it's got venom at the end of it. When you stick it into an enemy, it kind of poisons them and does more damage over time. I mean, hunters being all sneaky and stealthy definitely matches hunters we've seen in Destiny 1. I mean, the Night Stalker subclass with that toxic venom grenade that you can poison enemies with, and even the hunter exotic gauntlets called the Kepri's Sting, you can strike enemies from behind and poison them over time with like venom, which sounds exactly like a snake. So the idea of a hunter being a snake does make a lot of sense if you think about it. And you can definitely draw also similarities between the Warlock and that thing with the wings, of course, the giant eagle or whatever that thing turns out to be. Of course, the Warlock is kind of like an angel creature with a sword, so more similarities. The only things that are kind of hard to link together is the Titan with his Captain America-like shield, and of course those lions. They don't really look too similar. I guess lions are supposed to defend things and be like very good protectors, but you can still tell the themes for these subclasses are definitely very close to each other. So there you go, some very interesting new imagery we can get for Destiny 2 and the subclasses, which you now know the themes about. Of course, there was that post, which you definitely have to take with a massive grain of salt as to whether that's going to be legit, whether you can actually get pets with these animals to kind of like help you in Destiny 2. Of course, we can all know for sure this definitely is going to be included in the game. Maybe not as extreme as pets, but who knows? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section if you think it's far-fetched, whether you actually believe it might happen in the game. Of course, we're just 1 week away from the gameplay reveal now, not very long at all. And of course, I'll have my own gameplay for you guys right here on the channel in just 1 week. So stay tuned right here. Make sure you are subscribed and also have notifications turned on, because there's going to be a ton of brand new Destiny 2 gameplay right here on the channel. Sounds weird to say. I'll let you guys know on my Twitter, which will be linked in the description, when I can post gameplay for you guys and when everything is going down at the reveal event in LA. So other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. A like rating would be much appreciated if you did, and I'll see you guys in the next one.